Yes, hello everyone. It's very strange that I can't see you, but you can see me. So anyone watching, if you could just give me a wave. I can't see you, but I'm going to feel the energy through the Zoom. Give me a little wave. Thank you. I did feel that energy there. So welcome to Access Creative College. My name is Molly. I'm a media lecturer here in Norwich Access College. You're joined with me today in the photography studio. So this is where we do a lot of projects, film projects, experiment. All the cameras and stuff are in here. So this is where you could be if you decide to join us. Could we have the next slide, please? Lovely. So yes, the future is creative. I want you all to go outside today when you finish this talk or when you're walking around the street. And I want you to see how much evidence of creativity you can see around you. So like a sign on a bus stop or a photo on a newspaper, it's literally everywhere you look, creativity. And media is everywhere too. You're sort of building up the world around you, if you will. But the future is creative, and that means the economy of the future will have creativity at its very core. So that's what we want to encourage here at Access. We want you to be creative. We want you to get those ideas that have been sitting in your head for years, thinking, oh, I could do that, but this and this and this. And I want you to be able to just go for it. And that's what we're here to facilitate. Can we go on to the next slide, please? Thank you very much. So who are we at Access? So we do specialist creative education. So we're a national college dedicated to music, media, games, esports, and computing for 16 to 18-year-olds mainly, but also adult learners. We have industry-connected campuses located in major UK cities. So our current campuses are, I've got a list here, Bristol, Manchester, London, Plymouth, Birmingham, Lincoln, and last but not least, here in Norwich. So we're in quite major cities with a lot of stuff going on. Here in Norwich, we have loads of sort of festivals, public events, things like that. There's loads going on in Norwich. And we like to connect our media students to these things that are happening around and about. So for example, this year we had a few photography students go to Latitude Festival to take photos there. That was really fun. We also have something called New Noise, which is a sort of music gigging thing in Norwich. There's loads of stuff happening here and all around the country in different access places. We have a creative career focus. So our goal after you complete your course is either that you go find your creative career, or university is another option, but we want to make sure we prepare you the best for that. In media, that's all about having like a killer portfolio. We encourage people to do their own personal projects, loads of cool stuff going on there. Strong industry links. So we've worked with big names like Renderman, Latitude, which I just mentioned, Condense, Young Minds, and Creative UK. There's been all sorts of fun stuff going on there. Recently, I did a project with media and music, where basically the music students created an EP of songs and the media students created animations, photos, things like that. So there's loads of sort of links with different places and things like that. Pathways to success. Many alumni have gone on to successful careers in music, gaming, and media, including chart-topping artists and award.
Oh, I don't know if it is Molly or I don't know if it's me. Anyone who Molly has paused with, please raise your hand. Oh, here we go. Oh, chat. Hi, chat. Good morning, Miss Magda. Oh, okay, great. Okay, so it's Molly. Okay, well, we actually do have a backup. So that is how organised Access are. They've given us backup people just in case. John, here we go.
We're like, oh, not him again. Him again.
So we've had loads
of.
Oh, she's gone.
That's all right. That's fine.
Hello.
Hi, Molly.
Sorry, I think that might have been because a call came through on my laptop and it kind of like went all strange. So I'll just mute that. But sorry about that.
That's
no, we're
fine.
all good.
Out, right?
Carry on.
Thank you. Right. Technical difficulties happen in media all the time. That's why I say to my students, I like it when things go wrong because then you learn lessons like turn off your phone while you're doing a presentation in front of all these people. So yes, pathways to success. Many alumni have gone on to successful careers in music, gaming, and media. People go on to bigger, better things, basically. So some students start with us, they don't know how to use a camera, they don't know, anything really. And then they go on and they take photos, at big events and all sorts of things. So it's absolutely fantastic to see. Can we go on to the next slide now, please? So here are some of our alumni. Probably the one that might be catching your eye is Mr. Ed Sheeran, who actually went to Access here in Norwich. We also have Amy Love from the Nova Twins, Pogman, Jess Glynn. Oh, nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. I don't know if anyone understands that. But yeah, we have amazing alumni. And a lot of them come back every now and then because they really enjoyed their time here. So we often see old students kind of popping back in, helping out with some stuff, doing some talks, things like that. Can we have the next slide, please? So here is a list of our media and design courses. So we have level 2 videography, photography and design. So if you don't quite get the GCSEs you need, we do require certain GCSEs to get onto the level 3 courses. You can always start out by doing a level 2 course to begin with. And this is a really good sort of foundation for level 3, if that's something you feel like you need. And the level 2 media course covers a lot of stuff, so that ideally when you're finished with it, you can go, oh yeah, I want to do animation, or I want to do photography, or I want to do graphics, etc., etc. Some people even move on to games pathways from there. We also have level 3 animation and visual effects, which I love teaching, can I just say. Some incredible work coming out of that course. And in animation and visual effects, you focus on a bunch of different things. You do 3D animation, 2D animation. You do a project where you create a title sequence, and then you get to create your final project, which is something of your choosing. The animation and visual effects guys, they love sitting around drawing. They're kind of nerdy. They're a lovely group. Then we have our T level in content creation, which will prepare you for a career in content creation. I believe that also has a placement involved with it as well. So very exciting stuff. We also have our level 3 in film, videography, and photography. It's a very popular course currently at Norwich. It's filling up quite quickly, but it's a great course where you learn the principles of photography, the principles of film, pre-production, production, post-production, which basically means before you make something, making something, and after you make something. But it takes you through all the stages of production. Like I said, today here I'm in our photography studio, which the students get to use. You can book out this space. You'll have a lot of lessons in here, or we'll play around with the lights and things like that. Loads of fun. We also have a level 3 in graphic and digital design. And again, loads of cool stuff happening in here. You'll learn all of the Adobe softwares that you need in graphic and digital design. You'll make zines, posters, you do an awareness campaign. Loads of amazing stuff on graphic and digital design. There's also a little bit of traditional art in graphic and digital design, which may appeal to some of you who have done art GCSE and want to still be able to draw and stuff like that, but also use that drawing for something maybe a bit more practical, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you want to scan the QR code, you can find out more about all these courses rather than having to memorize all of my yammering on. But they're all great, and they've all got different things for different people. And if you're unsure which one is right for you, you can always come down to an open day, have a chat with us. I've had chats with loads of people who have sort of come in expecting like, oh, I want to do photography. And then I chat to them a bit about what they like and what they like to do. And I'd be like, oh, maybe you'd actually be better on graphics or something like that. So yeah, don't feel like you have to pick. But yeah, scan the QR code if you want to find out more. And you can also find it on the Access Creative website. Could we go to the next slide, please? Okay, so careers. There are loads of exciting careers in the media industry. I myself have a background in illustration and communications, which communication sounds quite boring, but it's basically stuff involved with social media and marketing and stuff like that, which can be a very lucrative profession. So we've got a few examples here, film and TV production. So you could pursue directing, producing, script writing. operating a camera, editing, sound recordist. You could be an assistant director, you could be a runner, you could be a gaffer, grip, etc. We will prepare you for these things. Photography and videography. So you could be a photographer, a videographer, a photo editor. A couple of our tutors actually do these things alongside their actual jobs, so we can give you loads of specialist advice in that way. We have cinematographer, drone operator, studio assistant. And I should say that this list barely scratches the surface, and there's new jobs being created all the time because of all this new technology and everything. So it's very exciting. Anyway, we've also got production and post-production and VFX. So video editor, VFX artist, motion graphics designer, colorist, compositor, roto artist, loads of really exciting things there. There's a lot of opportunities in the VFX sector at the moment. Design and graphics. So we have graphic designer, art director, title designer, storyboard artist, illustrator, and branding designer. So there's amazing jobs in graphics. And graphics can also cover sort of illustration, art type stuff like that. It does say that there, but I thought I'd just mention it. Media and content creation. So content creator, social media producer, podcaster, YouTuber, influencer, editor. There's loads of things you can do in content creation. I have a student actually who is currently really into esports and has put together an esports league, but he kind of does all of the film and photography side of it. And it looks really fun. I just need to itch my nose for a second. Okay, and then we have broadcasting and journalism. So we can connect you maybe with local kind of broadcasters around and about. This room, actually, fun fact, used to be part of ITV Anglia Studios here in Norwich. But now it's for us, which is very cool. Yes, news editor, camera crew, studio technician. These are all things that you could pursue and we can help you pursue. So yes, and like I said, all these careers, these are all wonderful examples. A lot of these cover a lot of different things within them. So for example, in graphic designer, there could be loads of different types of graphic design. So this slide really should be about the size of like the Notre Dame Cathedral in order to fit all the creative careers you can have. So yes, can we go on to the next slide, please? So yes, we all support your creative development. And that is another type of job. So you can do script editing, development executing. I don't know if that's a word, executing. We'll pretend it is. Casting director, location scout, set designer, costume designer, production management and marketing. So you could be a production manager, studio coordinator, scheduler, publicist, marketing exec, distribution coordinator. The list goes on and on and on. Yes, so if we could go on to the next one, please. So yes, careers in content creation. So I will admit this isn't my personal specialist area. I'm more of an arty person than a sort of content-y person, but I will talk about this briefly with you. So we have junior content creator who produces content for websites, blogs, and social media, writes posts, creates videos, and designs visual assets for brands. We have production assistant / runner who support filming, editing, or live broadcast crews, handle equipment setup, scheduling, and admin tasks. We have social media assistant, plan and schedule posts across platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, monitor engagement and analytics. We have digital marketing assistants, which help manage campaign, SEO, and planned ads. Paid ads, sorry, but they would be planned if they were paid because you usually have to schedule them in. Work with marketing teams to promote products or services online. We have junior video editor / camera operator, edit using tools like Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, work on shoots or post-production for TV, film, or online content. We have audio technician / podcast assistant. We all know podcasts are an absolutely massive thing right now. I don't know if any of you listen to podcasts. I personally listen to a podcast basically every day. So it's a very important thing, which you could also get into radio or streaming content. Right, copywriter / communications assistant. So I said this wasn't my specialism, but I actually worked in communications. So maybe that was, yeah. but this could be writing engaging copy for blogs, ads, newsletters, and social media captions. Press releases, always a fun thing to do. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So I'm going to show you a video now, and this is an opportunity to see our students learn about what they learn about and who they work with. So yeah, I'll just pass it over to the video.
In class, we recently used some of our time as we had some research on 3 different artists and the way they edit and take their pictures. I find it interesting because you get to learn more about photography and how the camera works, also more on different camera techniques that editing.
With photography, I feel like you see a different light to people. I feel like you see a different side to people and you can capture that. I've really enjoyed working with certain teachers here. I feel like they have really pushed me to just reach my potential. At the start, I was struggling sometimes with certain adjustments to the course from secondary school, but my teachers really helped me and pushed me to see that I'm actually quite a decent photographer.
Well, I did photography for GCSE in secondary school, and that kind of gave me the basics and the introduction, and I was just really interested in that kind of thing. And as for film, I was kind of always the one that was, looking up who everyone was in the films and being like, oh, I know them from there, and I really wanted to kind of get to know how those things were made and, the behind the scenes of all of that. That really interested me. But a lot of my stuff was reflected in like pop culture, and a lot of retro things are really interesting, like the 80s and the 80s style. So I do a lot of stuff like that. It's all really colourful, really poppy, and just like a lot of self-expression. I like showing people for who they are. Well, it's really good here because there's a lot of, the practical side as well as, the writing up and stuff. You do a lot of going out and you're given like a brief and you have to just fulfill that in the way that you see it. You're not confined to any kind of boxes here, and I really like that because you get to see how different everyone is and how your style compares to them. And I really like the way you actually just get to get on with it. Well, last year our photography brief was just interpretation, and you got to choose what you wanted to do with that. And I chose to make like a bedroom spread that had like posters and magazines, and I really enjoyed the creativity I got to show with that, and use the spaces here. We have a lot of like studio space with backgrounds and colours and lights, and we got to use all that. That was really fun.
So about the course, it's focused on creating your skills, being a videographer / photographer. So you get to work with camera equipment, you get to work with other students, like how to make a project collaboratively, and you understand the industries themselves, like things like copyright and whatnot, and how to market yourself and all that, which will come up in the second year.
So far on media, we've been looking into different photography styles and themes. So one of them we're currently doing is duality. So that would be things like good and bad, light and dark, opposite things. And another one is interpretation. So our theme for that is how do we interpret ourselves? So obviously for me, it would be something with music, like taking photos at a gig or playing a gig or something like that.
I like how much freedom we have with it as well. Like we get to really creatively express ourselves. Like our tutors let us do that. We have loads of access to different programs, like all the Adobe suite, Blender. Yeah, it's great for that.
Yeah, I was just going to say the freedom, but the programs you learn are really important, because I feel like I've learned a lot of stuff because I already knew how to make things, but I didn't really have the tools to make them. So I kind of combine my knowledge with the program knowledge, and then you can just make whatever you want, basically.
Like I've done loads of stuff in Blender. I've learned so much in Blender from before. Also After Effects, I've really learned how to utilize After Effects, and I use After Effects in my work all the time. I kind of like combining all of the different things. I kind of like combining like 2D with 3D, or like with film footage, and just I like making all sorts of mixed medium sort of stuff with all the tools that I have.
Lovely. So that was an excellent video. I'm going to have to use that in my lessons, to be honest, because that was great. So now we're going to look at some of the honestly mind-blowing work created here at Access from our media students. I mean, I see things every day that I'm like, whoa, that is literally, you know, the standard of like Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's roll on with the video. Okay, so there's some of our incredible student work, and I will say that just scratches the surface. There's some absolutely brilliant stuff. I'd really recommend you follow Access College on Instagram, as well as maybe the branch localist to you, because we do like to post student work wherever we can, because we want to get this amazing work out there. But anyway, so if anything I've said today has sounded exciting for you, then I really encourage you to book an open day. So you can come in, have a look around, have a chat to any of the tutors you like. You might change your mind and be like, actually, I don't like media, I want to do music. That's fine. It's always good to like sort of have a good little wander. We usually have some equipment set up. You can have a look around, really exciting things like the studio here. So yeah, scan the QR code to book in your open day. I'd really recommend it. We're always happy to see new faces, have chats. If there's anything you're concerned about, like maybe you're not quite qualified or you're not quite right for it, come in, chat to us, and I'm sure we can sort something out. And then make an application. So if you've already been to an open day, if you happen to have already been to an open day and you've seen stuff around and you think, yeah, I like that, get that application in as soon as you can. Particularly media courses can get very full very quickly. And if you want that place, then yeah, get your application in. And then you can attend our taster day on the 18th of April, where you'll get to actually use some of the equipment. And again, like sort of meet the tutors, get a feel for like what coming here every single day would be like for lessons and things like that. But I think that's about it from me. We've got a little bit of, no, have we got time? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. So yes, I have been Molly, media lecturer at Access College. Like I said before, get yourself onto an open day, make an application, and it's been lovely speaking to you today. And thank you.